we found 34 people suffering from electrohypersensitivity, and from these 34 people, 33 was women, only one man. Only one man. And from these 33 people in the island of Aruba, we found that 20 have sleep disorders. They can't sleep, like my wife. And in some cases, I say, okay, the reason is the cell phone. The reason is the cell phone. The reason is the cell phone tower. I'm sure of that. But after 20 years, in science, experimental evidence break your belief. It doesn't matter where you believe. The evidence, the data show you a different condition. So when I started doing research, most of these women, they didn't even use cell phone. They don't have cell phone. I say, okay, what happened? How they are immersed in such sensitivity? And we realized in Aruba, they built the houses with the electrical panel, the main switch panel of the electrical, in the master bedroom. Okay? So they were immersed in a super bubble from the electrical panel and near field exposure. There was no smart meter at that time. So we go deep in this. Of course, this is crazy. And we make a map. Okay, the federation, the Dutch Federation, they have 70 signs, symptoms and signs. Let's reduce it. We work with a multidisciplinary group. It will reduce it to 25. This is the most common signs and symptoms that people are suffering from EHS. They are getting without an unknown cause. Maybe some of you are suffering from some of this. In environmental medicine in Europe, they call this, the EHS is part of an increased sensitivity in the nervous system. So when you get an electrohypersensitivity syndrome, you sometimes start to develop a light sensitivity, a noise sensitivity, and tinnitus is a ringing in the ears. And nowadays, the tinnitus is very common. I will show you some interesting facts of this. And multiple chemical sensitivity. So we say, okay, if the people are not aware they're suffering from electromagnetic pollution, maybe we should look for people suffering from multiple chemical sensitivity. Let's talk with doctors, and they're receiving these patients, and we can start surveys around the habits they have, the type of where they're living, how close they are for high voltage line, and we try to see if some of these people actually are electrohypersensitive. And if we treat the environment, maybe we will see a difference in the multiple chemical sensitivity, and that was true.